Hey guys, James here with Waterford Business Solutions. And today I wanted to go ahead and post an update on a video I did earlier in the year talking about class tracking between QuickBooks and HVAC Pro. Earlier this year we noticed that the class tracking functionality, the way that we used to do class tracking between QuickBooks and HVAC Pro, was no longer working. So we've had to kind of drop back and punt. And I've developed a method to help us continue class tracking, since it appears that the current integration between HVAC Pro and QuickBooks does not directly lead to class tracking. If you go back and you watch that previous video, we talked about doing class tracking based on the products and services. And even if you map your products and services to a class, it's still not going to assign to that class. It's going to assign to a not specified class here. So we're going to talk about how to actually move from not specified to a different category there and do the class tracking. But I would recommend before you do this that you go and you watch the mapping of products and services video that I've previously done. Because you are going to need to be able to do mapping of products and services in order to do this. And even if you go ahead and watch it, or you watched it a while ago, we want to refresh our mind here to be able to make sure we're understanding everything here. So the first thing we want to do class tracking currently is going to be to make sure we have our income account set up here. And so when we kind of take a look at the income accounts here, I've got mine set up for design and services. And we want to be able to class track for new construction and then service, because we're going to say we have an example of an HVAC business. So anytime we service, we want to track what we're doing for service. Anytime we do a change out, we want to track what money's coming in for a change out and what money's going out for a change out. And same thing for new construction. When we do that, what we're going to have to do here is we're going to have income accounts there in order to help us keep track of all that. So what I really recommend doing here is going to be something along the lines of income, and then underneath income you'll have new construction with whatever types of income you want to track for new construction, service, whatever types of income you want to have for service, and change out, whatever types of income you want to have for change out. Basically what we're doing is we're duplicating your income account so that we've got multiple different accounts. If you remember back to my previous video, we talked about to do the class tracking, every product and service will only go to one class. So as long as you are following that, where every product and service only goes to one class, you're not going to have to add new products and services or anything like that. We're just going to be duplicating the income accounts, because ultimately we're going to do the month in, month out class tracking through the daily basis by income accounts. And then at the end of the month, once we're cleaning everything up, reconciling the books, getting ready to present the profit and loss and balance sheet, we're going to do one quick entry that goes ahead and moves it so that we can run a profit and loss by class instead of just having a standard profit and loss or having everything over here and not specified. Now in saying this one move, all we're doing here is a journal entry. We're not going to be moving every single transaction. We're not going to be doing everything like that. I will show you how you can do that, but it really takes an accountant to be able to do that, and it's quite laborious to do. So it's not something I would fully recommend here. What I'm doing is I'm showing you something that you yourself can do as a non-accountant user in QuickBooks, and it's not going to move any of the transactions. It's just going to move the money on our profit and loss and balance sheet. So again, it's not moving any transactions. All the transactions are going to stay exactly where they come in the income account as a non-specified income account. We're just moving the money between the not specified class under the income account and the actual class you want to track it in under the income account that it's in. So the example that I'm going to give y'all here is going to be this services line here. So anything we do for services, we want to track in our service class here. And you'll see that I've got $1,515 sitting here not specified. Now I want to be able to move that $1,515 over to just service. So it's going to be very, very simple here. We're going to come in here. We're going to remember that we're in the services income account here, under service there, and under not specified there. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to come up here to the plus new icon and do a journal entry. And we're going to set all that up. So give me 1 minute. I'm going to set that up and I'll be right back with you. Okay guys, I'm back. So what we've done here is we've set up a journal entry, and we may want to change the journal number. It depends on how you track your journal entries, depending on the business, depending on your accountant, what they like to do. Because basically what we're doing here is this isn't really a full journal, we're just moving money around. So if you want to specify that every time we do this class tracking, you could do something like a CT journal entry. That way anytime you see CT in a number, you know that it's a class tracking journal entry. It just kind of depends on how you like to track everything. But we're going to set our journal date to the end of the month that we're affecting. So we're going to say that we're just looking at May here, and we want to take all transactions that occurred in May from May 1st to May 31st and move it out of the account for services with no class or a non-specified class to the account for services under the service class. So we're going to choose the date at the end of the month right there. And then both of our accounts are going to be services because we're not physically moving the money to a different account. We're just changing the class within everything here. So once we do that, we'll see services here for the $1,550. We're going to debit that to reduce that income account. And then on the next line, you'll see services here for $1,550, which we're going to credit to increase the income account. So we're decreasing and increasing, not changing any money anywhere that it belongs. What we're changing is over here. We're pulling it out of a not specified class, which is why I don't have anything entered here. Whenever it says not specified on the profit and loss statement, you want this class field to be blank. And we're putting it into the services class. And what we're going to do there is once we save and close that, it's going to give us a warning that it's missing a class, but that's good, we know that. We're going to come here, and since this is a sample account, I don't have a lot of stuff going on in here, so I'm actually doing a year period here. But if we come back and we look at this P&L statement here, we'll see how we're at $0 now here under services for not specified, but at $1,835 under services for specified service class, service income. So it's that simple to change that around. However, when we take a look at everything, if we click on the not specified, you see how we still have all of these amounts, all of these invoices are in here, increasing and decreasing this account here throughout the entire thing here. So every invoice is still in here, and all we're doing here is we're not moving any of the invoices, any of the transactions, we're just moving this journal entry. And if we come over here and we look at the services under service class, we don't have any of those invoices there. Again, we are just moving the money. Now, depending on your accountant and if they are using QBOA or QuickBooks Online for accountants, accountants do have a tool to mass reclassify. And you can talk with your accountant about this, and we can come into the services and we can set a date over here. And instead of moving just the money, the accountant can actually come in and move the entire transaction. However, you have to have an accountant to be able to do this. This is not something that a normal access to QuickBooks is going to give you. So we're just going to change the account, make sure that that stays the same, but we're going to change the class here. And when we apply that, it's going to say that we can't do that due to the fact that there's certain transactions that can't be changed. And that's really what you're going to run into here, is when even an accountant tries to do this, it's not easy to move all the transactions. And that's going to physically go ahead and move the transactions, but it's going to be a little bit more time consuming, and you have to work with your accountant to do that. And some accountants aren't going to want to do that, being honest. And on top of it, it's generally going to run into an error there. So it's, as long as you understand that the transactions are going to stay in the not specified, and all we're doing is moving the money so that we can look at a class profit and loss, what we talked about in the beginning of this video will absolutely work. Again, it's just moving money. It's not moving any transactions or anything like that. As always, guys, thank you for your time. If you've got any questions or comments, please feel free to email us or give us a call, as we always look forward to trying to help you out.